This game is a problem for me, man. I said last time that I'm not going to be playing it again because I didn't want to burn myself out on it, and then I caught myself in a lie because I misunderstood what the baker's hint was, or the baker's hint is just false, straight up, and I want to try to find a way to test that again, so I'm going to be playing more runs to hopefully find bakers and then, like, prove myself right last time. My endless run did also finish early, and I feel like I can do better, and I want to do better before I put this game down, before it, like, releases in, I think it's early 2026. Okay. We got a Plague Doctor, and there's two possible outcasts. So this is the only source of corruption. We're not going to be able to open up all the cards. I pointed the Plague Doctor at itself last time to try to test to see if it was evil, like if it would lie, and that doesn't work. So I'm gonna need to rethink that strategy. Not rethink it, just never do it. Can't point the Plague Doctor at itself. We'll keep going. 7 is good. Let's see if we can start implicating some people. I am the original baker. That has to be the truth. So then you are also telling the truth. So then this druid, I guess I can't learn if they're lying yet or not. I need to find one other card that I know for certain is an outcast or a villager. This one could be a disguised evil as a plague doctor. A knight, I'm fine to test that with killing them. Okay, so then we can point the druid at these three. There are no outcasts. You are also telling the truth. Okay, so then of the last 3 cards, or I guess of the last 4 cards, because the Plague Doctor still could be an evil, there's 2 evils and 1 corrupted. Another Plague Doctor. Okay, so now that we have 2, I can test to see which one is the real one. I'm not going to know which card is corrupted over here, but that's fine, I guess. So you're saying that this card is corrupted, and that's a false statement, so then I can kill you, so then this Plague Doctor is real, and then I can point it at somebody else. That's nice that I found the fake one first. Well, I guess I could have also just reversed their statement and used them later. So you're evil. Well, this Plague Doctor, now I can point it looking like to discern if somebody is corrupted or evil. I could do the same thing with the Witch. I would just have to, like, invert their statement. Now, I'm wondering if they say 4 is corrupted, but they still give the correct, like, evil location. I kind of just want to rip an early kill because I know that I'm going to be able to solve between, like, this is a 50-50 right now. I could just reasonably start. This Plague Doctor could also be, what is it? Not truthful, but I'm going to be able to point them at the knight again and get, like, the information that I need out of them to make this a 50-50. Let's do that first before I pull the I'm gonna kill one of these 2 cards early. You're saying that you're not corrupted, so then you're good. Yeah, okay, so now this is a 50-50. Okay, so you lie about both of them being corrupted and about the evil location. I wonder if you always lie about the evil location or if that doesn't matter, because then I could have finished this 50-50 early by killing 8. Oh? I forgot there's 2 outcasts, not 1. Okay, that ends the endless run at literally the first village. Not gonna end the video. I'm just gonna play again. We're gonna say that didn't happen. We've got 2 outcasts. 1 could be a drunk. That's our only source of corruption. Oracle, 7 or 6 is a twin minion. Don't want to open up either of these cards because they could be lying. I'm 1 card away from the closest evil. That implicates 6 as being the evil, if I'm to assume these 2 are true. A judge. Let's get more people in on these implications. We're going to see if you are lying or not. You're saying the truth. That puts 3 people against this 1 card here. Got a wretch. Got a bombardier. We're still not able to know if there's a drunk out there because one of these cards could be a disguised evil. Got a bishop. Between 7, 4, and 5, there is a villager. Sorry. There's a villager, if I'm assuming this to be true. This is also a villager. But if it's a drunk, then this one is lying. And then this one is the villager. Or you are saying that there are... what is it? If you are lying, you say all characters in my info are villagers. So then I would assume that you're the drunk. You are the good guy. And then one of the evils is over here. But that feels like too many assumptions. Let me get rid of all the assumptions I made at the beginning of the game and open up these cards. Lilith is 3 cards away from the closest evil. For that to happen, this would have to be Lilith, and then 1, 2, that's 3 cards away. I mean, that could work. It also could be a lie. Let me open up the last card. You cured 2 corruptions. I don't think there's any corruptions except for drunk, and this one can't be cured, so you have to be lying. So I'm going to assume that you are saying that this is a minion. You are saying that this is a minion. This lines up with saying that this is Lilith right here, and this judge is saying that 5 is telling the truth. And then this card would be implying that these guys are fine. I'm fine to like try killing these 2, but I'll start with the alchemist. It's twin minion. Okay. Lilith is 3 cards away from the closest evil. Lilith would have to be here. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3 cards away for this to be true. If right, because this is twin minion. That's what this card was saying. So then, you are probably the corrupted one. Hold on. 7, 5, and 4. If you're telling me the truth. Hold on. If you're lying, then all of these guys are villagers. And then that does line everything up properly. And there's no drunk on board. These are just the 2 outcasts. I'm fine with trying to kill the bishop. Nice. Nice. Okay. We've got a possibility for a Plague Doctor and a Puka. We've only got 1 evil on board? Really? Do I just try killing early to see if I can, like, get the game fit? Like, it's a 1 in 7 chance right now, the end of the game. Okay, the Bombardier could still be Puka, but, like, yeah, I shouldn't be throwing out, like, I should be throwing caution to the wind with a Bombardier around. 4 is good. Judge, if we can get... No, because there could be a corruption out there. One of them could be, like, lying without being evil. I need 3 people to be corroborating a story to know for certain that they're, like, truthful. Medium. 6 is a real oracle. Let's see if we can get that. 3 or 2 is a shaman. We don't have a shaman. But you have to give information about a minion role, but there's no minion there. Let me see if you're lying. If you're lying, both characters in your info are good. So you have to be lying about the shaman. So that means that both 3 and 2 are good. That means that 4 is also good. And then that puts the evil as... Okay, if it's Puka... Hold on. You have to be lying, so then you have to be corrupted or evil, right? Yeah. So then Puka could be here. Puka could also be here if this judge is corrupted. Let's see if the judge is corrupted first. The medium is telling the truth, so then Puka is here, or this is Puka. But if this is Puka, then it would corrupt this Gemcrafter, and it wouldn't get this Oracle, so Puka's up here. Nice. Okay, 1 outcast, 2 minions, 1 demon. We've got a doppelganger. We've got no corruption on board, but a Lilith that will kill people early. A knitter. There are 3 pairs of evil. That is a possibility, especially with a puppeteer. A druid. Okay. The doppelganger makes the druid hard to play. 1 is evil of 8, 9, or 6. Not going to open up any of them then. I've cured 2 corruptions. There's no corruptions on board, right? So you just have to be lying. Yep, so then I can kill you. There's Lilith. I won't get another death. If I opened up this card early, like at the beginning, I would have been able to kill Lilith before it kills this card. There are 3 pairs of evil, making Lilith likely to be beside another evil. Gonna open up 7 then instead. There are 2 evils adjacent to you. So let's say there's 1, 2, 3, 4. That does work. You could be the puppet, you could be the puppeteer, and you could be the other one. Let's try opening up 9. 1 of 9, 8, or 6 is evil. This would implicate you as being incorrect. Okay, let me check the dreamer first on Lilith. Could be Lilith, so you're telling the truth. So one is evil of 8, 9, or 6. I can't implicate 8 or 6 yet. But since... Okay, the druid... I know that you're not an outcast. I know that you are not an outcast. I need to have one more card that I know is not an outcast. Let me try opening up 5. We've got a Slayer. Let me see if you're true, or like... Yeah, if you're a true character by trying to get you to kill Lilith. You don't, or you don't say anything. You just like expunge your action, so you're a good Slayer. So then I can use the druid on you, you, and you to see if the druid is fine. The druid is also telling the truth. So then let me say, for example, that the knitter is telling the truth and there are 3 pairs of evil. It's puppeteer, puppet, and then the last evil. Let me try using the Slayer to kill number 8. You couldn't kill 8. So then the knitter would be incorrect, and the lever would be incorrect in that case. That puts 3 evils on board, and I don't have to reveal these last 2 cards. Let me see if that works. That doesn't. There are 3 pairs of evils. So then they're all, like, these guys are all evil. I should have killed this as a puppet, honestly. Right? Like, there's no other board state that makes sense. One is evil of 8, 9, or 6. Hold on. Okay, if I'm saying that these 3 are evil, and that makes the 3 pairs of evil, you're also lying? Ah, you could be the puppet? You could be the puppeteer. That's the 3 pairs of evil, and you are the last evil. And there are 0 evils adjacent to you. That lines up? Let me try running with that line instead. No. We've got a puppet here. This is probably going to be a puppeteer. 1 evil adjacent to it. I should have opened up more cards. I shouldn't be playing endless this quickly. Dying on village 2. Come on. I got to like 6 and 7 last time. I got a doppelganger, a drunk, and a shaman. So we've got a lot of duplicated rolls. Fortune teller, can't do anything with them yet. Can't do anything with them yet. Kind of want to open the cards to get some information from this though. 3, 4. Ba is 1 card away from the closest evil. Pretty likely with 4 on board. You've cured 2 corruptions. I don't think there's any corruptions that you can cure. No, so you're a liar, so you're either drunk or evil. Let's keep going. Okay, let's see. You are saying that 9 is the drunk then? You're saying that 3 and 4 then are suspicious, if I'm to believe the bishop to be true. Like, one of them is evil here. Let me keep going. You've cured 1 corruption. You are also lying. That doesn't work. A knight. I'm fine to try killing you to get some information. You're safe. We've got a second knight. So that's likely the doppelganger. Or no, that could also be the shaman. But I'm going to be killing it just to make sure. Yep. Can I solve this without opening up the last card? There's no way that I can prove the Slayer to be, like, truthful. Unless I get it to execute an evil card for me. So I could ask it to execute the poet, and there's a chance that it breaks the 50-50 for me without me losing any health. You couldn't kill 4. Okay, so there's still a chance that either of these is evil. Like, if this one is evil, it always lies. No, if this one was evil, then this one would be good, because there's only 1 implication from this bishop. Yeah, there's no way that this bishop here is ever lying, because if it lies, then all characters are villagers. This guy has to be either the drunk to be corrupted or evil, and that doesn't work out. So then one of these 2 down here has to be evil. If you were evil, you're always going to lie, and say that you couldn't kill 4, which then means that you're true. Or, like, you have the chance of being true. Okay. If you're telling the truth, and you're saying that you couldn't kill 4, and this is evil, that's the contradiction. So then it has to be this way around. Nice. The puppet is one of these 2 locations. You are telling the truth, so it can be either of these two characters, and I'm going to need to save my 50-50 for that. Now, if Ba is one card away from the closest evil, you are telling the truth. Hold on. Got a Puppeteer, Shaman, and Ba. If Ba is one card away from the closest evil, that means that the two evils are up here. This is the drunk. That's the only like form that works. Let me double check that the fortune teller actually isn't it, because like the pair just has to be. Let me put these guys down as corrupted or lying. The pair of evils just have to be up here since there's more area for them to be in. If this is where Ba is, we know that the poet has to be telling the truth. We've already deduced that through the bishop saying that this is the drunk, this is a villager. Yeah, we've already said that they can't lie. Okay, so with this telling the truth, Ba has to be one card away. If this is Ba, for example, then the closest evil can't be the knight. The closest evil one card away can't be the poet. So this cannot be Ba. Ba has to be either this card. Sorry, one of these two cards to have it be a pair beside the other one, or one of these two cards. So then this card up here is always evil. So I can shoot you. What? Ba is one card away from the closest evil. So this right here is the evil. This is the puppet. Okay, so I've at least broken the 50-50 between these two by killing a drunk instead. So then you are the puppet. That's the second evil. That's 3 evils. And then the last card... No, the last card here is fine because we've killed the drunk. You're evil. Puppet. Ba. Last one. Nice. Didn't have to reveal all the cards. Fun. We've got a Plague Doctor and a Drunk that are possibilities because we got 2 outcasts for corruption. Got a Slayer. Got a Plague Doctor. I want to point the Plague Doctor at the Slayer to find out if it's corrupted or not, so I can just rip the Slayer somewhere, hoping to hit Lilith. It's saying that it's corrupted. I can't trust the Plague Doctor yet. I should have had, like, something to, like, make me trust the Plague Doctor before I sent it. I'm still gonna rip the Slayer somewhere. No, because that could lose me 5 hit points, and I don't want to do that. Let's open up the rest of the cards. 2 or 9 as a Shaman. And this ends up being a Shaman, and I was incorrect about the beginning. Let's see. If you're lying, then all of these have to be good. That could be some really pertinent information. So hold on. If you are lying, all characters in your info are villagers, meaning that the Plague Doctor here, it has to be an outcast, or it has to be something disguised as an outcast, and the only thing that can disguise as an outcast is an evil character, right? Yeah, the drunk can't do it because it disguises as a not in play villager, and it's an outcast itself. So this has to be the outcast in there. Then 2, sorry, that's 2. Then 7, we cannot check. 5, if we prove this to be a villager, then we'll prove this to be a minion. But I think that Lilith doesn't kill enemies. Kill a random unrevealed character. It does kill completely random ones. Wow. We need to prove this before we can... Sorry, wait. Yeah, out of 5 and 7, one of them is evil, one of them is a villager, and I know that you're telling the truth. Let's continue opening cards. You're 2 cards away from a corrupted character. I know that you are an outcast now, so you are putting a corruption somewhere on the board, so I can test if this is the corrupted card or this is the corrupted card. Oh, no, because, like, there could be a drunk here. I mean, okay. If I pick a corrupted, I can learn an evil character. I'm not trying to hit the card that the Plague Doctor specifically corrupted. So let me see what 8 is. Another Slayer. For another Slayer to be on board, it would have to be one of these 2 cards. it cannot be... Well, it could be corrupted. It doesn't have to be a drunk. So is a drunk somewhere on board? Because I'm not seeing a wretch. No, this can't be a wretch. It has to be evil or a villager. So one of the singleton cards is a drunk. Like the poet, the scout, the oracle, the bard, not the bishop. Can't be the oracle, actually. It has to be evil or a villager. So the last 3 cards down here are possibilities for the drunk. In that case, I'm going to say that this is most likely a corrupted character. Wait, you're 2 cards away from a corrupted character. The corruption can, yeah, either come from the Plague Doctor or the drunk. But if I'm hitting, like, the Plague Doctor has the chance of hitting this card, and the... Oh. Right, I've already used the Plague Doctor. My bad. It is more likely that this card down here is corrupted. Does that give me, like, any information with the bard? Wait, hold on. This is the same thing as a bishop, right? Between 1, 9, and 5, there's minion, outcast, villager. So you're pointing at 1, saying that there's minion, outcast, villager. 9, we know this to be a villager. And 5. This could be a drunk. And this can't be a drunk. This could be evil, though. Yeah, because one of the 2 slayers is evil. You could be telling me the truth. Let me get the slayers to try executing the oracle, because then I have a chance of it ending up being evil. Right? Hold on. 1, 9, and 5. So either you are a drunk, or you are a drunk, or evil. Either of them. Wait, hold on. No. You can't be a drunk because of the bishop up here. Right, so you have to be evil if you're lying to me. And then that would put 1, 9, and 5 as villager, evil, outcast. So then you have to be lying, so then you have a possibility of being the drunk or evil. So I'm going to point the slayers at you to test that, to see if I can, like, suss you out as being evil. Couldn't kill 3, could be evil, couldn't kill 3. So this is probably the drunk. I think this has to be the drunk then, if because at least one of these slayers is a good card, and then the other one is the evil card. If they both couldn't kill 3, one of them is lying about just like, oh, I can't kill my target if it lies, and then the other one actually can't kill their target because it wasn't evil. So when I figured out where the drunk is, that's good. 2 cards away from a corrupted character. You're not 2 cards away from a corrupted character. The only corruption is the poet, so then I can kill you. Oh no, I made a mistake. Plague Doctor. I forgot. Oh. I think I might lose it on this village then. Because, like, I can't break the 50-50 here unless I have some other information. And I don't know if I'm getting that information elsewhere. Hold on. You're either, like, telling me the truth or you're evil. There's, like... No, you can be corrupted by the Plague Doctor. Okay, a few misplays to get me here. I'm not able to... I don't know if I'm able to solve it without just, like, hoping that I can kill one of the evils. Let's assume that you are evil and you're lying and both characters in your card are good. 2 is good and 9 is good. Oh, hold on. And you're not corrupt. I have to assume, like, that... Okay, I know that you're lying and you're either corrupted or evil. Oh, but if you're 2 cards away from the corrupted character, you can't be corrupted. You'd be saying 1 card away from it, so then you are evil, so then I can kill you. Okay. You're 2 cards away from a corrupted character. It's either this one or this one. If you were corrupted by a Plague Doctor, you also couldn't kill 3, and you just lied. Which does mean that this poet could still be evil instead of suspicious. I'll put this card on them instead. Lilith is 2 cards away from the closest evil. Is that where I can catch you in a lie? Let's say that you are corrupted instead of being evil, and you're lying. Or no. Let's assume that you're telling the truth instead. Lilith is 2 cards away from the closest evil. That would mean that Lilith is here. Lilith cannot kill themselves because, well, I mean, kill a random unrevealed character. I mean, that text allows that to, like, allows me to believe that, but I don't want to. And I think the round also ends if, what is it, Lilith killed an evil and I've revealed all of the cards. So 7 isn't Lilith. This has a possibility of being Lilith. And then we said before that one of them has to be corrupted. No, okay. So if... Wait. The evil has to be one of the slayers because there's no other way to duplicate, right? Yes. Okay. So then between these two characters, you would have to be the drunk because you're saying that Lilith is 2 cards away from the closest evil and lying. That does mean that you're 2 cards away from a corrupted character. That doesn't break this 50-50 yet. Between 1, 9, and 5, there is an outcast, a minion, and a villager. You cannot be lying because if you do, all the characters in your info are villagers. Wait, meaning that you are a drunk? Oh, you're a drunk. You're telling the truth? 2 cards away from the closest evil. That doesn't make sense if the slayer is. Man, the bishop lying in a specific way really makes these difficult. Let me get rid of some of the things that I've put down on the board to, like, start asking the correct questions again to, like, get me making the assumptions that I need to like, find a contradiction. I'm going to assume that you are the drunk. If you're the drunk, Lilith is 2 cards away from the closest evil isn't true, and they are more than that, which then means that you are up here. But then that's one evil. That's a truthful statement. You say that you can't kill this, meaning that this has to be a truthful statement. If it is, between 1, 9, and 5, we have 2 villagers. That's a contradiction. So we can't have this be a drunk. Or, wait, hold on. Yeah, if this is evil and this is good, that changes nothing, right? Yeah, because then there's 2 evils inside of this, and that doesn't work. So you cannot be the drunk. Let's try assuming that you are telling the truth instead. I'll do evil at the very end, like if you are Lilith yourself. No, because you can't be Lilith because of the 2 slayers, like I said before. Okay, so now let's assume that you're good, you're telling the truth, and Lilith is 2 cards away from the closest evil. Well, how would Lilith be 2 cards away from the closest evil? Hold on. Is the last card yet to be revealed a wretch? And you are lying to me? No, because one of you two has to be Lilith up here. You cannot be lying to me because all of the characters in your info are villagers if you lie, and we've already seen that one of them isn't. So you have to be telling the truth. I don't want to make any assumptions down here. Okay, so then if all of these are villagers, you're the, like, safe slayer, you're the bad slayer. How is Lilith 2 cards away from the wretch then? Or 1, 2, and then shaman instead of... No, because if it says it's 1 card away, then it's usually like this. You'd have to be lying. Drunk? I thought I already did the thing with a drunk to, like, try to disprove that. Wait, but if you're telling the truth, the outcast has to be up here in one of these cards. And this slayer can't be a... This slayer is a drunk then? Hold on. If this slayer is a drunk, that might make things line up better. No, but then Lilith can't ever, like, be telling the truth about this Slayer being it. 1, 9, and 5, there's an outcast, there's a villager, and there's a shaman. I like that, like, this poet lines up. The drunk is a not in play character, so then this has to be the witch, or not, sorry, not the witch. It has to be Lilith. I'm just gonna send it, and I don't know how the scout is lying to me. I think that's a bug. Corrupted. How did you get corrupted? Oh my god. I'm so dumb. I forgot about the plague doctor again. Oh. Okay. Taking it slower. We've got a Lilith. Drunk is our only corruption. There's no plague doctor on board here. I don't have to worry about that. Let's go. 3 is good. Let's see if we can get a true statement out of them. A druid. Because our outcasts could be a drunk, we can't use the druid early. 2. 1 is evil of 4, 5, or 3. Don't want to open up any of those cards yet then. Let's go 6. 8 or 4 is a minion. Let's open up 5 instead. 2 cards away from the closest evil. So you two, you don't have to be at odds with each other. Exactly. So like the minion could be 8 up here, and then the other evil could be 3 over here. But then you would have to be corrupted. Hold on, hold on. Let me make an assumption, catch myself in a lie. Eight or 4 is a minion. Oh, one of these could be the wretch that this is seeing, and then that messes things up. Okay, I'm gonna open up some more cards. Just get some more information. Between 5, 1, and 8, there's a villager. Let me open up this. 7, 4, 2 is, there's no way that we can duplicate an empress, right? Yeah. So one of these two has to be lying. If they lie, all characters in the info are good. So let's see, 4, 5, or 3. You're saying that these 3 are good if you're evil? 7, 5, or 4. You're saying that these 3 are good if you're evil. That checks out. Let's see if this would check out. Let's assume you're evil, you're good. Right? And you are good, but that doesn't really matter. 8 could be the minion. That checks out here. You could still be 2 cards away from the closest evil of the druid being evil. Then you would be lying, and that doesn't check out because we don't have any sources of corruption. We have a drunk. You could be the drunk then. Between 5, 1, and 8, there everything lines up in this like ordering. I'm gonna kill the Empress. To double check this assumption, I can use the druid on 3 characters that I think are good. There's a wretch. That's a lie, and that checks out. Minion, druid. Okay. Well, minion and then the evil hiding as a druid. We got a puka, a poisoner, a plague doctor, and a drunk, or the possibility of a drunk. That's a lot of corruption. So I hit somebody with a plague doctor, and if it's a true plague doctor, I just like get to know one of the evils, I guess. Got a lover of one evil adjacent to me. I don't want to listen to you. A bombardier, that could be somebody that's hiding as a bombardier. I'm dizzy. Yeah, that tracks. Confessor. We've got a plague doctor, so we've got 2 people on each other. 2 cards away from a corrupted character. You can't be corrupted. You can't be corrupted. So you either yourself are corrupted or evil. Let me use a plague doctor on the confessor. And if it says that it's corrupted, I'm just going to believe that the confessor is corrupted. I want to say that the corrupted is nice and wouldn't do that to me. Or the confessor isn't. Okay. 5 is corrupted. 8 is evil. Let's try that. Nice, that's 1. The other corruption, I guess you're good. Then we only have 1 outcast. So the bombardier has to be the one that the poisoner is disguising as. We could keep going down this to like make sure that that's the case. You are lying from the corruption. You could be lying from the corruption as well. You can't be lying though, so you have to tell me that the plague doctor is in these three. Yep. And the fortune teller, you're corrupted, so you should tell me that this character is not evil and this character is not evil. Or sorry, you're the fortune teller. If you were telling the truth, you would say that this is an evil character and this isn't an evil character, so you'd come back with true, but since you're lying, you're going to say false. Yep. Fun. Hold on. Did the jester get corrupted? Or because I haven't made the statement yet, the poisoner hasn't had the chance to corrupt him? Let me check. You're a good character, you're a good character, you're a good character. I'm not able to do it at the end of the village. I would have loved to see if the poisoner could have corrupted this and then Puka corrupts these two. So like the poisoner doesn't always corrupt to the outside. I wonder if the order in deck matters. Like the poisoner coming first and then Puka coming after is like an alphabetical thing, or if it's that the poisoner procs its ability first and then Puka procs it second, and they're both game start abilities. Something to think about. Got Puka, a shaman, a plague doctor, a drunk. Lots of corruption. Judge. Alchemist, I've cured 0 corruptions. It's a possibility. One is evil of 5, 2, or 8. Won't touch those cards. Bombardier. That is one of our outcasts. Got a plague doctor. That could be the other one of our outcasts. Got a druid. We've got 2 empresses. One of them could be a doppelganger, and then one of the bombardier, the plague doctor, could be hiding. An architect. We've got an alchemist curing 1 corruption. So one of the empresses or one of the alchemists has to be evil at this case. Or no, oh, we've got a shaman. Okay. So let's assume that the shaman procced on the alchemists. Then we have the empresses as one of them being evil, or one of them being a doppelganger, and then the plague doctor or bombardier being evil. That's too many cards to implicate. That doesn't work. So I know that at least one of the bombardier and plague doctor is... Do I? No, because like we could have a doppelganger and a drunk. It's so unlikely though that I want to use the druid to point out the bombardier, the plague doctor, and I guess itself. And it will tell me that there's an outcast. If it's lying, it'll tell me that there's no outcasts. I guess I could also point it at something like the alchemist, because this is a chance to be a doppelganger. So it like ups my odds of hitting an outcast. There are no outcasts. So then you're lying, which means that you're corrupted. The alchemist doesn't cure them. Let me try using the plague doctor on this to see if like... I want to assume that the plague doctor is telling me the truth. Let's use it on the druid. 8 is corrupted, 1 is evil. Let's run with that assumption. Nice. Oh, that's so good. Okay, so you did cure this 1 corruption. There's a possibility that this card over here is also corrupted. So this could still be a lie. We've got a judge. We can ask if the architect is telling the truth to see if it is corrupted or... like evil. Saying the truth, you are not. We've still got a shaman out there, and there's still the possibility that it's the bombardier, right? Okay, hold on. The shaman procs 2 alchemists, the empress, and yeah, okay, so I can't assume that the bombardier is safe yet. Between 5, 2, or 8, only 1 is evil. 5, 2, and 8. There's 1 evil. If this is a second evil, then you would have to be corrupted. That still works out. And if you were telling the truth, then... yeah, that doesn't give me any more information about you being corrupted. Okay, so if you're corrupted, you're lying, which means that all characters in your info are good. So 7, 3, and 6. 3 is a good character? Or sorry, 7, 3, 8. So now here, now that I know that only one of them is evil, that allows me to say that you are safe? Or no, sorry. That the Bombardier is safe and one of the alchemists is the shaman. Now, which one do I think is lying? So you cured 0 corruptions. No, you did. Oh, you cured this corruption. Hold on. I need to back stuff up. Wait, if you would have cured this corruption, you're lying. And there's this plague doctor source on the board. So corrupted at the very least. 1 is evil between 7, 3, and 6. Wait, we've proven you to be evil. Sorry, 7, 3, and 8. So you're telling the truth? That means that you have to be good. You can't be evil. You could still be corrupted and, like, lying. Just that you're a good character. That you're not evil. Hold on. If we have a Plague Doctor here, I'm going to assume that the Plague Doctor procs after Puka. It would be nice to know the order of events, because then I could make, like, further deductions off of this, because then I could say that there have to be 3 corruptions on board, compared to the Plague Doctor hitting the Architect, and then Puka also hitting the Architect. Let's shoot one of the Alchemists, because I know that you're corrupted or good. You're not evil. So then that leaves it as, like, a 1 out of 3. Okay, if I kill this character, I think I get enough information to break the 50-50 between the 2 and 4 cards. I'll explain it later if I don't get it. Okay, so now that I know that he's only cured 1 corruption, this card... Oh, no, because I said that, like, you're corrupted or good, you, like, you're forced to be good because the alchemist would have cured you instead. So then I can say that 1 is evil between 5, 2, and 8, meaning that you are a good card, so you're just corrupted and not evil. Hold on. If he's corrupted and not evil, that corruption could come from being a drunk instead, and the Bombardier is it? Okay, let me backtrack to the Empress that I did up here. I know that you... Wait, if you're a drunk, then you could still be... Oh, why? Why do I have to have the possibility of a drunk? Because if you're a drunk, it's not going to proc the ability of this villager. It's not going to cure this Empress. So then there's the possibility that there are 2 evils in here, and then this character is evil over here, and then... Wait, if you're lying, then you say that all characters are good, and that doesn't check out. So this Empress can't be evil or lying? So that means that this can't be the drunk. It has to have the ability that procced. So then you're evil. But then if you're evil, like you disguise as this character, you still proc the ability? Question mark? Wait, I know that you got cured and you're saying that the left side is more evil. So then doesn't this have to be an evil character? Hold on. If the alchemist here cured the corruption, you could have cured the corruption on this Empress over here, and you could still be lying. No, but then the right side is more evil and that doesn't work. Like, I was thinking that this could be the evil here, but if it's evil, this statement is a lie. Right side, it doesn't work. So you have to be telling the truth. This has to be the corruption that you cured, meaning you couldn't have been corrupted. You're either evil or good. This card up here has to be cured by this alchemist, unless you're a drunk. So let's assume that you're a drunk. 1 is evil of 3, 7, or 8. We know that you're good. You're the evil. So then you're also good. Then 1 of 5, 2, and 8 is evil. You're good. You're just a drunk. You're lying to me about the amount of corruptions that you've cured. And then 5, 2, and 8. We know that you're good. We know that you're evil. So that checks out. So if the left side is more evil, like this is a true statement, the Empress has to be evil up here. No, they're the drunk? Hold on. Hold on. Let me go back really, really far. You're the drunk, you're lying to me. The left side isn't more evil. The judge is, because it's pointing at you. The drunk, and you would lie because you're the drunk. You do not cure this corruption. Why? We can't have an evil character up here anymore. There's no more drunks left. And like, if I'm putting a drunk somewhere on the board, then the Bombardier isn't it. Or the Bombardier is the last evil. Truth, left side is more evil. You're evil then. That means that you don't cure any corruptions. You're fine. You still cure that one corruption down below. One is evil of 7, 3, and 8. That's a lie. They all have to be... Or sorry. One is evil of 7, 3, and 8. That's the truth, but you can't be telling me the truth if you're evil. I don't understand this one. I feel like I'm going to get it as soon as I end the round. You know what? I'm going to say there's some weird, like, trickery going on. Hold on. I'm assuming the plague... Wait, you're lying to me. Right? I think... When did I do the Plague Doctor move? Because I think I, like, just misunderstood it. 1 is evil because 8 is corrupted, but 8 can't be corrupted because it's Puka. So then you're lying to me. And you wouldn't lie to me unless you're evil because you can't be corrupted. So then you're evil. You are true. You are true. You are true between, what is it, 7, 3, and 8, meaning you have to be green. Let me get rid of this. You cured the corruption up here still. 1 is evil of 5, 2, or 8. That checks out. This works. Wait, where's the drunk? Because if I'm killing the Plague Doctor, then there has to be a drunk on board. No, it's a doppelganger on the Empresses. Okay, it's a Plague Doctor. Oh my god. Okay, thank god I reread the Plague Doctor text. I don't know what I was thinking when I read it. Maybe I, like, like, I put evil down here. Like, oh yeah, 8 is corrupted. 1 is corrupted, 8 is evil, and then I tried killing 8, and I just, like, lucked into killing Puka. Whatever. We passed the village. We're fine. Only corruption is a possible Plague Doctor. Okay. Gemcrafter, 9 is good. Let's apply some people. 8 is good with 2 Gemcrafters. Shaman. Shaman can cause the 2 Gemcrafters. 8 is good. We can't test you until we find an evil. Jester. Can't test them until I find some more people. We've got a Bombardier as a possible outcast. Doesn't mean that a Plague Doctor still isn't on the board. There are no corrupted characters. You're kind of backing up the Bombardier as being truthful. You were a knight. So you have to be lying or corrupted. I'm going to assume that there's no corrupted characters on board, and I'm going to kill you. But instead of doing that, I can use the Slayer instead to see if the Slayer's good. Yep. Good. Jester. 1, 2, 3. There's 1 evil. That's wrong. There's no corruption on board. Death. No corrupted characters. Bombardier. This has to be the last evil then. Nice. I think there's still the possibility of corruption, but I like did this under the assumption that there's no corruption. Just because like there's too many signs pointing to there not being. Well, there's two signs specifically: a bombardier on board and a bard. Makes it more likely, not like the only possibility. We've got two outcasts while putting one extra in the mix, both a drunk and a doppelganger, so we can have some really sneaky outcasts. 2 cards away from the closest evil. I'll reveal the 2 cards around you. 2 cards away from a corrupted character. A possible drunk here or here. Let's open up this card. And open up this card. So you cannot be a drunk. You would have to be the drunk if we are to believe you. I want to go off of the assumption that this bard is correct. Because well, no. We'll open up more cards and see if there's an outcast elsewhere. A second bombardier. So one of these guys has to be lying. Let's keep opening. One's evil of 8, 6, or 5. I'm going to open up all the cards. I think, do we have a shaman to duplicate an oracle? No, we don't. Okay, so the oracle here is either evil or a doppelganger. I don't have any active abilities, so I don't know if there's a way that like I can pull the fifth or like understand the 50-50 here. Closest evil is counterclockwise. If I can prove this as being true, then I can find out that this bombardier is the one that's evil. Let's run under that assumption and see if I can figure out the rest from there. 2 cards away from a corrupted character. We've got a bombardier on board, and on 6 or 2 is tier. Okay, let's... No, that makes too many assumptions if I make a second one after already assuming the Enlightened. Let's assume that you're evil, so that I can assume that you 3 are all true. Then that puts you as being evil. Like that picks up the Enlightened, what is it, assumption that I wanted. We've got 2 or 1 being a puppeteer. You being a puppeteer and you being a puppet does not make sense because you're not 2 cards away from a corrupted character and you would have to be telling the truth. Let's say that 2 is the puppeteer then. Then that would mean that the hunter is not 2 away from the closest evil. And because we've already marked down our 3 evils... Hold on. The, what is it? Empress in the top left cannot be evil. Let's make it assumed that it's drunk instead. This setup still doesn't work because the hunter can't be telling the truth. If this is the puppeteer told to us by this oracle. Hold on. Puppeteer, puppet, doesn't work. There's no corrupted card nearby. This could be a drunk and it could be lying to us, but then this couldn't be a drunk. Hold on. Let me back it up. If this is a... let's make an assumption like this is the drunk, meaning this character is not a good villager. So then they're lying about where the puppeteer is. And if they're lying, both the characters and their info are good. So 6 and 2 are good. That puts the corrupted character up here. That's still fine. You're lying about where the puppeteer is. So then you also have to be telling the truth. That lines up with the closest evil being down here. Then one of 8, 6, or 5 is evil. We said that you are corrupted. We said that you are good. If you are telling the truth, then this is the evil. But we have to have one of the bombardiers being evil. So let's say that this is evil, and then you would be telling the truth of 8, 6, and... Puppeteer... No, because this evil means that it's lying, right? That's like what I did at the beginning. No, I did this saying that you are a drunk. And if you're a drunk, then both characters in your info are good. Hold on. Back it up. Start again from the beginning. Both characters in your info are good because you're a drunk. So then 2 or 1 is not a puppeteer. They're both good characters. If the hunter is 2 cards away from the closest evil, it can either be the oracle or the empress. So we can't make any like assumptions as to this being evil or this being evil. One of these 2 down here has to be, though. So then we're only allowed 1 other evil character elsewhere. So let's say that you're the puppeteer, you're the puppet. You're pointing out that 6 and 5 are, what is it, true? Because, hold on, wait. If you're evil, no, you're only evil because of the puppet. Or the puppeteer. You're the puppet. You tell the truth to me, meaning that of 8, 6, this is the evil character, and 5, there's no other corruption sources that we have, and the closest evil would be at best equidistant, but it'd have to be the other direction. It'd have to be clockwise, so that doesn't work. So I think that then let's put the blame on you down here instead. Right, okay, if I made the assumption that this is the drunk at the beginning, I have no way to turn you into being evil, because then this... Wait, if you're evil, 6 is the puppeteer, you're telling the truth of 8, 6, and 5, you can't be telling the truth, because I've made these 2. I want to kill the Oracle at the very beginning, because if it's a drunk, I only lose 4 HP, and then it, like, allows me to go through all of this without questioning my original assumption. It is the drunk. Okay. So then these 2 characters are good, and you are 2 cards away from the closest evil. You are 2 cards away from the corrupted character. Let's say 6 or 2 is a puppeteer, meaning that the 6 has to be the puppeteer. You're telling the truth. You could be evil then. You would be the puppet. And if you are the puppet, you're telling the truth. 8, 6, and 5, that is not the truth. That doesn't work. So this character here, where I said, like, they're telling the truth, and then followed that line and then came to a contradiction because there are no other sources of corruption than the drunk, this card has to be lying. We can kill it. Nice. Okay. So then 6 or 2 are not a puppeteer. That means that this bombardier is safe. And then this is where the puppeteer is. And then this has to be the puppet. Okay. Here for killing the drunk early on. We've only got 1 outcast. And I don't think... Is there any sources of corruption other than the drunk? No. Okay. Missed. I've cured 0 corruptions. You can't cure any of them anyways, so you're telling the truth. Minion is 1 card away from the closest evil. Could be the case. You are the original baker. 3 is a real baker. You are telling me the truth. Wretch. That's our outcast. We don't have to be worried about a drunk anywhere. This could be a minion because it's right beside the wretch. Evils are not adjacent to each other. If I am to believe this knitter, we could have a wretch being an evil, this being an evil, and this being an evil, and that's the only case. I still want to open a card before I do that. Baker, I was a dreamer. So here, last time I said that, like, oh, I'm just going to assume, like, what is it? The text on it said, I say that I was a random villager role if I lie. So let's say that the baker turned this baker into, like, what it was. The thing that would tell, like, how it would tell the truth is saying I am a dreamer, but how it would lie is saying I am a dreamer, or not I was a dreamer, but I was some other role. So I don't think that it gives me any good information if I go like if I follow that logic, and maybe that logic doesn't even make sense, I could just be talking out of my ass. So I'm going to say that the baker is doing something good for me by removing maybe other good information that like a medium could give me or a poet could give me. Like this text here might be more helpful than just saying I was a dreamer, but I think it confirms this one as being at the very least a good character. So then the evils are not adjacent to each other. I've got 2 evils to place. 1, 2. They still could not be adjacent to each other, but then that means that this has to be a lie, which means that the evils are adjacent to each other. So then all of the evils are here. You're telling me the truth? Cool. Cool, cool, cool. No corruption, but a Lilith, and was that a witch? Yeah, we're gonna open up a very small amount of cards. I don't want to open up 3 or 9 because they're probably lying to me. Bombardier, not a good card to open up yet. 8 or 1 is a witch. Do we have a doppelganger? We do. But they're contradicting each other. And since there's no forms of corruption, that means that the doppelganger copying the good villager would be a good villager itself. And that doesn't work. So this oracle implies that this oracle is bad. Or this card is bad. But I don't think it would imply, like, it only picks... It's hard to say, like, both of these could still be evil. I don't want to kill the oracle early. I'm going to let Lilith kill someone. Got a fortune teller, learn if any of them is evil. I'm not able to get the bombardier out of hot water yet. I can't use the fortune teller on anybody. That's a second fortune teller. We don't have a shaman. So... what is it? Either another person disguised themselves as a fortune teller, or the fortune teller themselves like got duplicated with a doppelganger. Both sides are equally evil. For that to be the case, wait, we have 4 enemies. 1, 2, 3, 4. We could have fortune teller being evil, and then like oracle being evil, and then you're telling the truth. That works. It's not great. Can't open the last card because of the witch. Okay, how do I get the information that I need out of these guys without having to kill somebody early? What if I don't and I just assume that the Slayer... Hold on, there's no corruption, right? Okay. He's not going to kill anybody. He could give me, like, not correct information, but he could also find the witch for me between the 2 oracles. There's, like, a slight chance that he does. I'm going to say that the first oracle that I opened is suspicious. Nice, nice. Okay, I could open this last card if I want to, but I don't think I need to because this witch is now lying. Let's see what the disguise was. Both characters are good. So 9 is good and 3 is good. 8 or 1 being a witch, that probably makes this card a good card. And then you're evil. Both sides are equally evil. One of these cards could be evil, and the fortune teller could be, what is it, just a regular card. This could be the other outcast, being a doppelganger for one of my other cards. Now, I could also point the fortune teller at these 2 cards and see if it says that, like, one of them is evil. Try to catch him in a lie. So, is 9 or 1 evil? False. You're telling me a lie. Double checking this one. You're both telling me lies. Oh, right, because there's 3 enemies overall. Oh, hold on. You would be the puppeteer. You would be the puppet. You would be another enemy. That way we've got 2 people on this side and 2 people on this side, and it's balanced. If you were the... Yeah, these 2 have to be lying. The only way for them to be lying is for them to be evil. The only way for it to be balanced is the puppet to be over here. Yep, there's the puppeteer, puppet, and Lilith. Nice. Okay. Corruption. A lot of corruption on this one. Between 2, 8, and 7, Villager, Outcast, Minion. I want to open up those cards. We've got a Plague Doctor as our possible outcast. We've got a Bombardier as our possible outcast. And we've got 7 as an Alchemist. So if you were corrupted, you would be cured by the Alchemist. I can't point the Plague Doctor at you or down here. I want to open some more cards to try to see if the Plague Doctor is the true one by getting him to tell me something about, like, corruption. Another bishop. Do we have... We've got a shaman, so that's possible. Between 2, 8, and 1, there's a villager, a minion, and an outcast. So if this is lying to me, all of the characters here villagers, that can't be the case. These guys are either outcasts or evil. So you have to be telling me the truth, which then also means that... Wait. Yeah, that there's one villager, one minion, and an outcast. One of these guys is a minion, one of these guys is an outcast. You are a villager, so you're also telling me the truth. So then between 2, 8, and 7, there's a villager, a minion, and an outcast. We already know, what is it? Outcast, we know minion, or like one or the other of them are, and then you are a villager, so you're fine. I can't figure out which of the Bombardier or the Plague Doctor is yet, but I wouldn't want to shoot the Bombardier first. I'm still going to look for more information down here. We've got a Druid. Okay. Now a Druid. If I assume them to be telling me the truth, they could be corrupted or they could be evil. I think I'm just going to point it at 3 non-outcast characters. See if it tells me there are no outcasts. Okay, you're a truthful character. That means that the... okay, so one of them is evil. One of these is evil. One of them is corrupted by the Plague Doctor. If the Plague Doctor is the true character. I'm going to try killing the Plague Doctor early. Nice, as a shaman. So then that means that one of these characters is corrupted, one of them is evil. You are a safe character, though. Unless one of these is an outcast and you are not, and you are still disguised as an enemy. I'll have to open up one of these cards. Puka is 2 cards away from the closest evil. I'm willing to say that you're telling me the truth, because there's no corruption down here, and this is Puka, and you are fine. This could also be Puka, though. Yeah, and I guess the information that you give me is not going to be pertinent at all. I'm going to try killing this card first, because it's a 50-50 between these two now. I can use my 5 HP. You've got... How did you get corrupted? Oh, there's... Your Puka, you corrupted this one. I forgot that I'm playing with Puka and that there's more corruptions on the board. I just thought that I was playing with one. Okay. Yeah, this has to be the case because you can't be lying. Okay, okay. Nice. Slightly flawed. Not the most. Glad I didn't kill the Bombardier. Like, I've ended a couple of my runs. First time I've seen it go down to row 3 for cards. We've only got 1 outcast, but 4 are being shown. Closest evil is equidistant. If I'm to believe them, I want to go down here. Closest evil is counterclockwise. If I'm to believe them, this is evil, and this is evil. You are the original baker. Let's see if you're lying. So you are at least corrupted or lying. You could be the drunk, though. No. If you're... Well... We do have a source of corruption somewhere. Give me a second. 0 corruption cures, doesn't matter. Slayer. The corruption could come from a Plague Doctor on board somewhere. So I want to open up and see not a Plague Doctor. Then I'll feel safe. I mean, it's a 1 in 4 chance that a Plague Doctor's on board. And then like a 1 in 9 chance that the Plague Doctor hits the Slayer to be corrupted. He could also just straight up be evil and then not kill the card. I was a gem crafter. I'm going to assume that to be the truth. Bishop. Between 8, 5, and 2, there's a minion. 8. Minion, 5, and 2. So you're lying to me. Because these guys have to all be villagers. Because these 2 are villagers. The baker turns a random unrevealed good villager into another baker. We have a shaman, right? Yeah. So I think because all of these characters are different, except for the bakers, but this baker turned this one into a new baker, then this card right here is a duplicate of one of the other villagers, so it's actually good. So then this one is lying, and you could still be telling me the truth. If you are lying, then... this one could be, what is it, lying? Because we've... Hold on. Let me back this up. I should be putting orange tags on these guys. Bishop. Between 8, 5, and 2, there's a minion, outcast, and villager. There's 2 villagers in here, so that implies that what is it? The last one is also a villager? Hold on. 8, 5, and 2. And you have to be lying. Closest evil is equidistant, so then evil. Closest evil is counterclockwise. You're telling me the truth. But there's 3 evils somewhere. There could be no sources of corruption, and like... Hold on. You could be the drunk. I was wondering where the outcast would go, because it couldn't be the alchemist, because then they'd say that they cured some amount of corruptions. But this allows the drunk to be up here, and you to be evil, or you to be drunk and you to be evil. It doesn't matter if you're drunk or evil. I'll go with this assumption set first. We'll try killing the judge. There's 1. There's 2. And then this will be 3. Nice. Nice. Okay, I'm going to make this my last village. We got a puka, and that's our only source of corruption. And we've got a counselor that can hide behind a doppelganger. So we've got 2 outcasts in here. Got a knight. Could be corrupted from puka, which would give me information as like one of these 2 is. I'm fine with doing that, especially because the knight only takes 4 damage if you kill it instead. Got corrupted, so one of these 2 is puka. Not going to open this card then, because it's probably giving... It's got a chance to be giving me incorrect information. We've got a second knight. Doesn't that have to be the other enemy then? Because there's no... No, we've got a doppelganger, and you disguise as a good villager currently in play. So there's a possibility it's a doppelganger. There's a possibility that it isn't. Wait, why am I at 1 HP? What? Do I not refill in between rounds? Have I not made that many mistakes for this long? Interesting. Well, I'm not going to kill the knight in that case. We've got a bombardier as one of our outcasts. Good, an oracle. 4 or 5 is a counselor. That could check out that it's beside the bombardier. You're good. That's good. 1 is evil of 7, 6, or 5. Or 7, 6, or 3. Let me take off these evil tags. Try going from here. What assumptions am I making? Let's assume that you are telling me the truth. Or no, let me open up 3. They're an oracle. Okay, so that's a duplicate. So then one of the oracles has to be one of the enemies. Well, they're both implying 4. Both characters in my info are good. So if you're lying to me and saying that both characters in my info are good, you could be telling the truth and then the counselor would be on 5, right? Or you could be lying to me and putting the counselor on... Or you'd be saying that both of these characters are good. You'd probably be corrupted from Puka. And then you could be lying to me where 2 and 4 are good characters. 1 evil in 7, 6, or 3. That is a falsehood. So then we have too much corruption out there. And the counselor can't create any kind of corruption from like a drunk being placed oddly. And then that also puts you as being incorrect. So this line doesn't work. Because the Puka is 3 cards away from the counselor. We do also... No. One of these is a... Okay. So... we need to have 2 outcasts on board because of the counselor, and there's only 2. There's two copied personalities, the oracles and the knights. So that means that either this knight here is a doppelganger or one of the oracles is a doppelganger. Let's assume that you're the doppelganger. So you have to be good, which then means that 2 or 4 being a counselor is false. So then you have to be lying to me. The only way that you're lying is if you're Puka, corrupting this character. And then for Puka to be 2 cards away from the closest evil, this card would also have to, or sorry, if Puka is 2 cards away, then this card is, the Bombardier is bad, or the, sorry, Puka being 2 cards away from the closest evil. The Bombardier is bad. That can't be the case. We need the Bombardier to be one of our outcasts, or the Scout is bad. But if the Scout is bad, it's lying, and then Puka is not 2 cards away from the closest evil. So let's say instead, I think that's creates a contradiction already. So I'm going to assume that this knight here is not a doppelganger and is the counselor instead. It's evil. Then that means that you're telling me the truth and you're telling me the truth. And then Puka is not 2 cards away from the evil. It is that you are the evil instead, and you're 1, 2, 3 cards away from it. And then between 7, 6, and 3, none of them are evil. So then you're also lying. And that's fine, because that is what Puka would do to you. That checks out. Let's try. Gonna do Puka first. Okay. Whew. Nice. It's a good one to end it on too.